Hello, this is Will from Will to Trade. You can check us out at www.willtotrade.com, fill out the form, get invited to our chat room. We do give a 2-week free trial, so we'll get you all taken care of. I want to talk today. Today is Tuesday, June 14th. I want to talk about a stock, EXAS, that was in play in our room today. And I want to kind of go over the front part of the move and then the back part of the move. Definitely want to give a shout out and credit to some of the members in the room. I think they actually caught this one before I did. As you can tell on the screen, we have the first half of the move. Super clean, super smooth. I made a little bit of money here in the first half of the move. I think a bunch of other members did. You know, in the first couple hours or so, it's kind of dormant, not really doing much. It's not really in play. This gold line represents where it's up a few percentage points on the day. Me personally, you know, I like to scan for stocks that are already up at least a few percentage points. And then the blue line represents not necessarily where I did buy it, but I guess my ideal, you know, if I could, you know, relive today, where would be the best place to buy it? 750, 751, I think really is the best place, even better than, you know, in the 740s or even better here than in the 720s, because not too much volume going on here, and you really want to see some confirmation, not just that it's up, but it's continuing to push, and it did. And from 750 mark, it pushed up beyond $9. You know, that's a 20% run right there. Pretty awesome for a stock with a float of almost 100 million shares. 100 million share float is towards the high end of a share float that we would want to typically trade for day trade, because typically stocks like those don't really move as quickly as a stock with 20 million or less share float. But doesn't mean we can't trade them, and we certainly did, and this ended up becoming a really big winner for a lot of members in the room. So I want to talk about the move, I want to talk about the front half of the move, and I want to talk about the back half of the move. Looking at the 5-minute candles here, the front half of the move, it's about as smooth and as clean as you're going to find within a 5-minute candle view. You know, it's always easy to look backwards. You know, oh, how would I have traded it? Well, but you know, I just want to kind of let you know you could buy it here at 750, 751, and then just have a stop. You could maybe have your stop to start with at 740, and you just raise your stop up as it goes. You know, raise your stop to 760, raise your stop here to maybe 780, raise your stop here to 8, raise your stop to 820, raise your stop to 840, raise your stop to 860, raise your stop to 880. And you can't see it here because it's the 5-minute view, but in the 1-minute view, there was an opportunity where you could have raised your stop to $9, and you could have either got stopped out at $9 or $8.80, or maybe flipped around and then sold at market or sold limit in the $9.20 range. But this is really how you'd want to trade a stock like this. You just kind of buy it as it's going up, and then just raise your stop, and then okay, I'm maintaining my gains as it goes. Because it went from 750 to 9, but who knows, right? I mean, maybe it would run all the way to 15 or 18. I mean, that's a huge run, of course. I kind of doubt that it would just go stair-stepping all the way up. But if it did, you would be in position and you would be ready, just moving your stop up. And again, that would be considered a manual trailing stop for those of you that are new to trading. So what I want to do now is I want to focus the rest of the video on the second half of the move, because I got a little bit more involved in the room on the second half of the move. I was checking the stock out a little bit more. I really wanted to see, what is this stock going to do the rest of the day? So, I've outlined kind of this whole chart so far. This section, no trades. This section, you really don't want to trade it because it's too thinly traded and it's not really moving high or low enough. This really anywhere from here or here all the way up here, you want to go long on it because it's moving up about as solidly as you can possibly find. So once you tap 926, the high a day, then what you really want to do is pull back and just watch. You want to watch what these stocks are doing. I kind of think that so much of trading is, or I should say, no, let me phrase it this way. I think sometimes more of trading is actually watching what the stocks are doing and less is actually buying and selling. I know a lot of new traders want to jump in and, okay, let's buy it, let's sell it. But just like if we were hunting, we're going to want to stalk our prey, so to speak, and we just want to watch. We want to see what it's going to do, so we know. Again, I'm pulling up this part of the chart. What's it going to do next? So let's take a look. So it pulls back. Okay, we're just watching. It pulls back. Okay, we're watching. It pulls back. right about here, you might think, you know what, I could go short in the stock, and you certainly could. And you certainly could have gone short anywhere in here, and I'm sure there were some traders that went short and made some money there, and that's possible. But for our sake of argument, we're just going to keep watching. Okay, we're watching some more. Okay, wow, it's pretty red. Watching some more, and then right there. Now this blue arrow, 920, represents approximately a 50% retracement. I know there's some Fibonacci lovers out there that love the 50% retracement. Stocks don't necessarily pull back 50% exactly every single time. They'll run up and they'll pull back. And the pullback may be 20, 30, 40, 50%, maybe 60, 70%. In this case, it was approximately, 50%, give or take, from top here to bottom there, halfway through, about, 820. So in this candle, I'm watching it now. Now I'm really, really curious. Because when I'm watching the chart now, I know that really one of three things is going to happen. Really, one of three things is the only thing that can happen. Either one, the stock is going to flatline right around 820, and it's not really going to move much higher up or much lower down, and there's really not going to be much trade opportunities. Or the stock is going to pull all the way back down into the low sevens, and there's going to be more shorting opportunities. If the stock were to, say, go below $8, certainly into the 790s or something like that. Okay, yeah, there could be a short opportunity there. Or maybe this left section is the left section of a cup, right? Look at this empty space that's here. So, a lot of members asked me to make this video and said, hey, Will, how did you know, it was going to form a cup? I think you always have to, when you're watching a stock like this, you always have to kind of ask yourself, what could it be forming? We don't know what it's forming, right? We don't know it's forming a cup, but we know that this shape is either going to come up, pull back, flatline, not a cup. It's either going to come up, pull back, and pull back some more, not a cup, or it's going to come up, pull back, level off, and then push up in the right section, creating a cup. So 820 approximately halfway through, kind of like a halfway through point here where we'd still want to watch it. Okay, we have a green candle, not the strongest green candle, but a little bit of green candle. Second candle here, a little stronger. So I have this arrow here at about 825, 826 or so, kind of representing where one could jump in and make a buy. Again, these buys are not going to be a strong 20% gain, but you could gain 2, 3, 4, 5% on each one of these scalps that I'm about to show you. And those certainly can add up, and then even bigger as it continues to go. So as you can see here, it pushes up. Now, once I see this candle push up into the 840 range, it gives me confirmation that a cup could be forming. Again, we're not going to know until the day is done, but certainly we have the beginnings of a cup, right? It comes up, it pulls back, it kind of flattens out a little bit or bases out, and then oh look, we have a push of a cup. So because we pushed up above 825, 826, 827, that's a place where you could buy, and then it kind of tops out at 840. Tops out again. I didn't draw a line here at 840, but notice the top of all these stems, is at 840. It becomes really obvious in the 5-minute view. It may not necessarily be as obvious in the 1-minute view, but when I see this, this is considered like a flat top, like a potential flat top breakout. It's pushing at that 840 level. Forget this wick, forget this little itty bitty wick, forget this wick. Just look at these, the stems, right? The meat of the candle. Really, almost every single one of them, 840. It's kind of letting me know that this chart wants more, right? It wants to push up more, and if it does, it certainly would continue creating the cup, right? So we continue to watch it. Okay, almost at the 840 mark, and again, damn near pretty close to the 840 mark. So we can say to ourselves, okay, well, if we can buy in here at like 850, 851, that's above all of this section. It's another opportunity to scalp. We buy in there at that white arrow. If it moves up there, then it will continue to go up. But we're only buying if it goes there. If it falls down, then a buy does not take place. So let's see what happens. Let's fast forward, and there you have it. So now you have a formation of a much stronger green candle, even stronger than this one, almost kind of the strength of some of these green candles. It's not so much that we want to see a green candle, like that's a green candle and that's a green candle, and these guys are green candles, but we want to see big green candles with as little wicks as possible. We want to see them really push up with strength. So this 850, 851 point at this arrow is another place where you certainly could take a scalp. And if you look at this, yeah, a cup is forming. But just because a cup is forming doesn't mean it's going to be perfectly smooth. It could push up, flatten up, push up, and pull back, right? So let's see what happens. Now, here's an opportunity where you could sell at 880. Again, these are quick scalps. If you're not familiar with how to make these scalps, send me an email. I'll go over in more detail. If you are familiar, you're kind of recognizing, oh, I can make a little scalp here. It's a little one, Oh, I can make another little scalp here. Okay, all right. I can add to my gains, right? I make some gains here, make a little more gains here, make a little more gains there. Are there more opportunities? Let's take a look. It pulls back again. It pulls back again, and it pulls back again. And I think some of our members were getting in right around here and then got stopped out and then said, hey, Will, could you make a video and explain what's going on? Right around here, I said 860. Because the challenge to these trades is it pushes up, it pulls back, and you want to watch it, right? Same concept here. This is the same concept as this. It's just a smaller version of it, right? It pushes up, and then it pulls back, right? It pushes up, it pulls back. So I'm waiting, if I were to buy in here and sell in there, and I'm waiting for the pullback, when I feel it's pulled back about as much as it can, then I'm going to kind of set a mark above this candle, which happened to be an 860. So let's take a look at that. So there you have it. Once I see a green candle, I know, okay, if I can get in, if it's going to go up, right? If it's going to continue to run up through 860, then I definitely want to buy right there. If I'm wrong and it pulls down, then I don't buy. So again, let's take a look here. And it does push up, although you have a big wick here, but that's actually a pretty bullish sign. And look at that. I mean, that next candle really, really tells the story. This, besides for this wick over here, this candle is probably even bigger than this candle, which is bigger than this candle. So you have this one, this one, this one. They're kind of growing, right? They're kind of growing in strength, right? They're obviously making higher highs. This is almost at $9. The stem, this is here like at 870. This is here at 840. This little guy here is like at 820. Not to mention this little stem over here, like 813 or something. So from here to here to here to here to here, the top of the stems continues to run up. And right around the 860 mark where I actually jumped back in, I said, okay, well, I'm going to get back in at 860, and some of the members joined me, which is great. And some of the members were able to make some profit on the move up. And I had said, if it gets to 860, it's probably going to get to 9. And if it gets to 9, it's probably going to challenge, the previous high of day, which was 826, because of everything I mentioned, because of these ascending, growing green candles, growing in length, growing in strength, growing in height of price point. I think it's starting to become obvious now that the cup is forming, right? Again, these cups are not perfectly smooth, perfectly clean. They're gonna kind of have a little bit of jaggedness to them. They're gonna push up and then kind of flatten off. They're gonna push up and maybe pull back, and then they're gonna push up again. So let's see what happens. The next one, and then okay, it pulls back a little bit, and then it tests $9, right? From the top of these stems to the top of the wick. You're going to see it just kept testing $9. There's the top of the stem, testing $9. Top of the stem, testing $9. And there you get your little doji candle. And there you could say, all right, anywhere here, $9, 901, 912, 915, 910, 925, anywhere up in this range you could buy. There's no right or wrong answer. It just really kind of depends on what kind of trader you are, where you want to buy. But you can see it coming, right? You can see it about to, show what it's going to do, because you have this doji here, which is telling you, watch out for the next one, and there it is, right? right? There it is. So now it breaks 9 with strength. Almost no wick here. That's a very strong candle. You have like 1, 2, 3, 4 strong green candles. You know, forget the fact you have some pullback here. Forget the fact that you have some leveling off. Forget the fact that you have some leveling off. Let's just focus on these green candles here. They're growing with strength, you know, and volume is the same or more, right? Volume is also growing too, I should say. So the candles are growing. You broke through 9 with strength. You tapped the 920. You just know that you're going to break the previous high of day. The only question is how much more are you going to break it with? And there's your answer. And again, look at the volume even more, right? And there's your answer. It got to 973, and that's as far as it got. You know, it kind of leveled off a little bit in these next couple there, and there you have it. Next couple of candles. You know, once you push through to this new high of day, there wasn't really much more to do the rest of the day. All of these little white arrows represent places that you could scalp. Represent places that you could jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in, or jump in, jump out. You know, I didn't draw a bunch of lines. I didn't draw every line of where you could jump in or where you could jump out. Or if you were really brave, you know, you could just buy right there and just hold for the push. If you're really brave, you could just buy right there, you know, sit through all this and then hold for the push. You could buy right there, right? Sit through this, and then sell the push. Or, you know, of course, just buy here and sell the push. You know, so now that we see the whole day, we see this cup. You know, we know that there's different kind of traders and different kind of buyers. Some buyers do not want to trade any of this, none of it, right? They want to stay away from all of this because they feel that this is too indecisive and too difficult and too challenging to figure out. I agree, it is challenging to figure out. Some buyers want to buy like right up there, you know, like a 915, sort of above the top of these stems. Above even the top of these wicks, just sort of above all this drama down here, right? Other buyers want to buy just below the previous high of day, which is at 920, but still above all this drama down here. Other buyers want to buy exactly, right? Exactly at the previous high of day at 926, or other buyers may want to buy just a little bit above. Because there are so many buyers that are buying in all these different demarcations that I just talked about, all these different buyers that are coming in with different ideas and strategies, they're buying up and down in this area. Some, like I say, some are buying at 9, some are buying at 912, some are buying at 915, some are buying at 920, some are buying at 926, some are buying at 930. So you have all these buyers whose orders are triggering. It causes that squeeze. It causes it to push up. And you know that you're going to get a squeeze above the previous high of day. You just don't know how much it's going to go. It went almost 5% from the previous high of day, maybe more like a 4%. It's still, in my opinion, a pretty solid move. I'm happy with that move. And certainly, if you bought down there, you know, you have quite a nice run up. So I was able to do pretty well in this second half of the day, kind of made up for the day for me. This is yet again another very long video, a lot of detail. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you love the video, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can get alerted to all these kind of videos. If you are confused about the video, go ahead and rewind it, watch it a few times. If you're really confused, send me an email and I'll do my best to kind of explain some things for you. But if you really are excited by what I'm talking about and you want to join our room, just go to the site, www.will2trade.com, fill out the form. We'll get you set up for a trial, 2-week trial. And thank you so much. Have yourself a great day.